It was a warm Thursday afternoon when it all kicked off, the kind of day you wouldn't expect to be at the center of a federal-level incident. My wife, Alana Reese, was outside watering her roses like she did every week. Her long black braid hung loosely over her shoulder, and she was wearing her favorite t-shirt and gym pants. Nothing about her scream threat. But that's when a black SUV screeched to a stop right in front of our driveway. No plates. No insignia. Two men stepped out fast, uniforms stiff like they'd never been worn before. Radios on their belts, tactical boots laced too cleanly. It didn't sit right. No badges, no names. Just ego. Hands where I can see them, one of them barked, raising a weapon toward Alana. You're trespassing on HOA protected property. From the window inside I froze. Not in fear, but in disbelief. These guys had no authority and no idea who they were dealing with. Alana didn't flinch. She turned her head just enough to eye the barrel of the gun and said calmly, "You've got 5 seconds to lower that weapon." The man laughed, smug. "Oh yeah? Or what?" That was his first mistake. I recognized the shift in her stance instantly. The turn of her foot, the curl of her fingers. Subtle, precise. I had seen it before when she disarmed a man twice her size on a subway platform back in DC. In under 4 seconds. This guy? He started sweating. Took a half step back. Gun still up, but his confidence was cracking. "She's not some housewife," he muttered to his partner. "You're impersonating law enforcement," she said. Voice low. "That's a felony." "We're with the HOA," he shot back. "This is our jurisdiction. You people weren't cleared to live here." That's when I stepped outside. "This house was purchased through a federal relocation grant," I said. "You're standing on private property." The man with the gun twitched, then raised it again. "You have 10 seconds to pack up and leave. This neighborhood doesn't allow military families." That flipped the switch. Alana didn't shift, didn't speak, but the air changed. Even the birds quieted. "You just threatened a federal operative on government-assigned property," she said, while holding an unregistered firearm. I pulled out my phone and turned the screen toward them. "Say hi to the sheriff's office," I said. "We've been live streaming since you pulled up." The second man went pale. "The HOA doesn't answer to the sheriff," he insisted. "We answer to the board." It all clicked. This wasn't about water restrictions. This wasn't about HOA rules. They came because they knew who we were. Alana knelt and opened the porch planter box. Inside was a bolted-down metal case. She entered a code and retrieved a leather binder, black with a silver eagle. "You want rules? Here's our DoD housing contract." This property was assigned under National Security Relocation Protocol. The man blinked. "We didn't get any notice." "You weren't supposed to," I said. "Because you're not real. You're not HOA. You're not law enforcement." She reached out and plucked the badge from his vest. "Plastic." The man's hands trembled. "You pointed a weapon at a Delta Force operator," she said. "Do you understand what you've just done?" Silence. She tapped her collar mic. "Bravo 9 to Sentinel. Package confirmed. Possible federal offense in progress. Send visual units for detainment." The men paled. One took a shaky step back. The other froze. "Sentinel confirmed," she said again. "False authority on site. Suspects armed. Request immediate backup." Even before we heard sirens, they heard something worse. Truth. And that truth? Backup wasn't coming for them. Real sirens cut through the silence. Red and blue flooded the street. Squad cars, deputies. No HOA logos here. Real uniforms. Real power. The first man dropped his weapon. His partner fell to his knees. The sheriff stepped out, nodded respectfully to Alana. "You're always good, ma'am." He turned to the man on his knees. "Impersonating officers. You're done." As the cuffs clicked shut, I felt something shift. It wasn't fear. It was justice. As they were hauled away, one looked back at her. Eyes wide. Not with hatred. With fear. The neighborhood fell into tense silence. Curtains twitched. Doors cracked. Nobody had helped, but they all watched. Alana didn't speak, just stared at the street like the real threat hadn't arrived yet. "That wasn't paranoia," she said. "It was coordinated." I nodded. "You think they were testing you?" "No," she said. "They were testing protocol." We went inside. I closed the door behind us. A buzz on my phone. Message from the sheriff. It's bigger than we thought. They're a network, targeting military families. Multiple counties. She read it silently, then nodded. They want control, not compliance. At dusk, a soft creak at the door. A white envelope. No seal, just a note. You're not done. You can't win. She tore it in half. They picked the wrong house. That night was different. Quiet but not calm. We jumped at every sound. But she stayed focused. By morning, she had backed up footage, called 3 old unit buddies, and scheduled a sheriff meeting. She moved with purpose. Always had. Later, I found the gate open. Unlocked. Not broken, just open. And under her windshield wiper, another note. You're being watched. She didn't blink, just dialed the sheriff. We're coming early. Bring the records. She then messaged someone else, a journalist, known for taking down corrupt developers. If this is what I think, she said, it won't stop with us. By sunrise, we left. No announcements. Just locked the house and drove. Not to the station. Too obvious. Instead, we rerouted. Back roads. Places she knew from drills. We stopped at an old diner. Took a booth. Waited. He came in like a stranger. Sat elsewhere. Didn't glance our way. Then she tapped her mug. Twice. Pause. Once more. He got up. Dropped a manila envelope. Walked out. Inside. Photos. Transactions. Transfers. HOA board names. All tied to one name. Alec Grant. Tycoon. Board chair. Same name stamped on our violation letter. He's the center, she said. Then we go after him, I said. She nodded. By dusk, we were outside his estate. Gated fortress. Guards in black. Cameras everywhere. She didn't use the front. She'd already mapped the blind spots. Through a utility easement, we got to a back entrance. Unlocked. Inside was chaos. Lights flickering. Papers everywhere. Voices arguing. We slipped to the office. Door cracked. Inside, Alec Grant pacing. Across from him, the fake officer. She wasn't supposed to fight back. Alec snapped. She had military backup, the other said. Real military. She stepped in. You finally got something right. Alec spun. Color drained. How did you? She tossed the folder on the desk. It exploded open. Because lies don't need keys, she said. I filmed from the doorway. You impersonated law enforcement, I said. Targeted families with clearance. That's not HOA. That's federal. Alec puffed up. I have friends in high places. You don't know what you're starting. Alana stepped closer. No. You don't know what you just ended. Then came the sound, front door crash. DOJ. Sheriff. The journalist, camera in hand. Alec didn't fight. Just dropped to his knees. Agents swarmed. The folder was bagged. The room cleared. As they took Alec out, I glanced at Alana. She didn't say a word. Didn't flinch. She just finally exhaled.